What is going on, Pats Nation? You guys already know who it is. Patriots Global back here with another video, going right back at it, jumping straight into these Patriots training camp recaps. This is going to be for day 8 as I try to get caught up on all of the days for you guys. I know I haven't exactly been able to come out with them each and every single day as they happen, but it's better to get these videos out for you guys a little bit later than to have never gotten them out. So it's even good to always be able to go back and look at the news from previous days just to see how things have kind of developed over time. But again, this is going to be day 8 for the team. That is August 5th. Absent Jarrett Stidham, Devin Ross, who dealt with an injury the previous day, Devin Asiasi, Dalton Keene, Ted Karras, Chase Winovich, Christian Barmore, Byron Coward, Akeem Spence, Terez Hall, Raekwon McMillan, Cameron McGrone, Stephon Gilmore, D'Angelo Ross, Cody Davis, and Joshua Bledsoe, and Nick Folk. My God, that was a mouthful. I mean, injuries, probably the biggest takeaway. Now, as I told you guys in my last video, the Patriots were likely to go straight back to full pads after they were back in shells yesterday, and that is exactly what happened here. The team was back in full pads today. Today was very good situational football, as it was a very rainy practice this day, and the rain was pretty consistent throughout the entire practice. So again, very good situational football, but that also does bring up a lot of potential injuries as guys are really slipping. In other words, Kyle Van Noy still in that red no-contact jersey, hoping he can get that off before our first preseason game. He looks good out there, but you're hoping that you can get some actual contact out of him, as he hasn't been able to do so yet this offseason. Now, Patrick Chung, who is retired, actually visited today. Always good to hear. Hopefully he was helping some of those guys out, like Kyle Duggar. Trainers also checked out rookie defensive end / linebacker Ronnie Perkins' left hand / arm at one point. I believe he'll be okay. Still something, though, to watch. Moving on to each position, quarterbacks, 11 on 11s. Cam Newton was 2 for 6 with 2 drops. Mac Jones was 10 for 14 with 2 drops. 7 on 7s, Cam Newton was 2 for 4, while Mac Jones was 2 for 3. Mac Jones and Marcus Martin both had to run a lap because of a fumbled snap. This is now the second time that's happened to Mac. But Mac did make up for that, as later in practice, he did make a really nice call at the line of scrimmage where he spotted a linebacker blitzing and got the running back to pick it up, and then was able to find N'Keal Harry for a quick completion once the ball was snapped. Now, just like he did yesterday, Mac Jones again got extended time versus Cam Newton when it came to 11 on 11s. He saw 14 consecutive reps at one point, as where yesterday he saw about 12 consecutive reps in 11 on 11s. Another sequence where he got 13 straight. So Belichick's really trying to give him just consistent motion. You know, he's not just trying to say, all right, come in for 4 passes, Cam, you come in for 6, Mac going for 2, and then we'll switch. Now he's giving him consistent reps, which I actually think is a really good idea. Kind of get in that muscle memory for Mac Jones. Overall, though, Mac Jones did look good today. He threw some really nice passes to Hunter Henry up the seam, Christian Wilkerson on a corner route, and N'Keal Harry with an in-breaker route. Reporters say that he was the best quarterback overall today, but most of his reps did come against the second team, or second scout team, I should say, as it wasn't the starting team. Overall, Cam Newton was just off today. I'm not sure what it was. Reporters say he just didn't seem himself. Didn't really hear much from him either, especially when it came to his plays. He just seemed very hesitant at times, as where that's not really how he's looked in practice over the last couple of days. So hopefully something that he'll be able to shake off and is just kind of having a little bit of a bad day. Moving on to running backs here, James White had a drop in the passing game. Damian Harris had a 40-yard rushing touchdown where no defender was able to even touch him. That block came both from the left tackle and left guard, Isaiah Wynn and Michael Onwenu. Those were the guys who gave the blocks to be able to spring Damian Harris for that touchdown. But James White did make up for that dropped pass because he made a really nice diving catch on a nice ball thrown from Mac Jones right over the head of Miles Bryant. Now, wide receivers here, Kendrick Bourne had to drop along with Christian Wilkerson. Nelson Aguilar got blanketed by J.C. Jackson when it came to one-on-ones, but came back later to be able to beat Jalen Mills with a really good step on him. Now, N'Keal Harry, after coming off of a really good day, actually struggled more today. Now, he was 0 for 3 in his one-on-one matchups, and then later on, he got flagged for a push-off and had a drop, and then just a basic incompletion. Not sure what was up with him today. Very bad look for him today, but rest of camp, he's looked spectacular. So it seems like for a lot of these guys, it was just a very off day. Now, in some better news, Christian Wilkerson was able to cleanly beat J.C. Jackson on a go route in one-on-ones, and he finished his day going 2-0 on his matchups. Christian Wilkerson, man, surprising each and every single day. The fact that he was able to cleanly beat J.C. Jackson on a go route, which is by far the best route that J.C. Jackson can defend. That's where the majority of interceptions come, is a really good sign for Christian Wilkerson. Now, Marvin Hall also cleanly beat Michael Jackson in one-on-ones on a post/corner route. He was able to go 2-0 on the day also, along with Isaiah Zuber. Moving on to the tight ends here, Mac Jones was able to find Hunter Henry with a nicely thrown ball to the corner against the second defense. There was a point today where Jonnu Smith had a little bit of a mental error as he missed an assignment on a play where he was blocking, only to come back the next play, though, and move Josh Uche out of the way clearly to make a nice lane for the running back. Not an easy thing to do against Josh Uche, who has looked spectacular. So, good way to come back here for Jonnu Smith. Now, Jonnu Smith also hauled in a really nice ball thrown from Cam Newton in very tight coverage and was also on the sideline. Really good toe-tapping play. As for the offensive line, Trent Brown looked really good on his one-on-one matchups. He was able to go 2-0 against Matthew Judon. And then both David Andrews and Michael Onwenu also stood out today on the offensive line. Defensive line, Lawrence Guy and Dietrich Wise both would have had a sack. Devon Godchow also looked really good in his one-on-one matchups, and he's just looked very good in general. I've heard he's been able to get his hands up a lot and just bat passes down, so he's potentially bringing in a new aspect that this defense just hasn't had before, because it's something Belichick just doesn't really prioritize. But he was able to have wins against David Andrews and the backups, and then Henry Anderson and Montravius Adams also were said to have done pretty well today also. Now, Carl Davis flashed some serious power today when he was going up against the rookie offensive tackle William Sherman. He was able to back him up in one-on-ones. Also had wins against Marcus Martin and Justin Herron. Carl Davis, a guy who's pushing to make this roster, but really could potentially make this roster. I mean, he stood out last year when he played a few games for the Patriots before getting injured. He could be one of the last guys to make the roster. He just really has to hope that everything goes his way. Now, Rashad Berry, second-year player for this team, was UDFA. He flashed some serious effective power, and he's someone who also plays the majority on special teams, and they said he also looked very good on the special teams unit today and was able to blow up a lot of the players. As for the linebackers here, pass breakups, Jawan Bentley actually had 2. Dante Hightower had 1. As for sacks, Josh Uche and Anthony Jennings both would have had 1. Cornerbacks, pass breakups, J.C. Jackson would have had 2. Jawan Williams had 1. Miles Bryant had 1, and Michael Jackson also had 1. J.C. Jackson had a really strong day running a lot of routes for the wideouts. Now, this is something you'll love to see, and I think this is part of why J.C. Jackson is so good, is because he's so good at being able to mirror. I think that he was either used to be a quarterback or used to be a receiver or something like that, so he really knows how to run these routes like a receiver would, which is part of why he has made such a good adjustment to the position for the Pats. And I don't mean that he switched to cornerback when he joined the Patriots, just meaning that, making the switch from college to the NFL has boded very, very well for him. Now, Jawan Williams also had a pass broken up on a slant by Nelson Aguilar in one-on-ones. He was able to go 2-0 on the day, so a better showing here for Jawan Williams than we've seen over the last several days. Miles Bryant also made a nice tackle for a 3 to 4 yard loss for Ramondre Stevenson. Miles Bryant getting some revenge there after that Ramondre Stevenson truck the other day at practice. So love to see that competition between those two guys. And then as for the safeties, pass breakups, Adrian Phillips had 1 and Kyle Duggar had 1. Special teams here, lastly, Quinn Norton was able to go 6 for 8 on his kicks. And Nick Folk was shockingly and unknowingly absent. Now, before we end this video off, I do want to quickly talk about the sponsors of this video, BetOnline.ag. Now, BetOnline has the fastest and the easiest ways to bet on all of your sports action. Football might be over, but NBA, college basketball, baseball, all of that great stuff is still here. And we're getting one step closer to having football back also. BetOnline even covers awards, TV shows, and reality TV with real-time updated odds and props on almost anything you can imagine. BetOnline also has you covered for all of the news, scores, and odds, and it's the best way to place your bets, and it's completely free to sign up. All you guys got to do is head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. But that is BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. Don't sit on the sidelines anymore. Get in with the action, and don't forget to use that promo code CLNS50 to receive a 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. But I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Make sure you guys let me know all your thoughts on today's practice in the comment section below. And thank you guys for sticking by my side as I, get back to being able to upload all of these previous days of training camp. Like always, subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. Leave a big like on this video. Maybe share it with some friends. But nonetheless, Pats Nation, I will catch you in the next video. Go Pats.